Call the meeting in order. Start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I can ask for approval of today's agenda.
I'll move to approve today's agenda.
I'll second it.
I've got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next item is I have for consideration our approval of the minutes from April 7th, 2021.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next item for consideration is the approval of claims for payment dated April 14th, 2021.
Make a motion to approve the April 14th, 2021 claims for payment.
I will second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next, I can ask for emergency management. Creighton?
No,
Okay.
I got a call from Thomas this morning. He's out on a call and is not able to be here, but he said there's really no new updates.
Okay.
Emergency management.
Sounds good. Next, I can ask Rocky to give us an update. Good morning, Rocky.
Good morning. Couple of updates from public health. This morning, we're sitting at about 99 active COVID-19 cases. So we've been holding steady for the last few weeks. We have administered about 9,800 COVID-19 vaccines in Hardin County, and about 10,500 Hardin County residents have received at least one dose of COVID vaccine. I'm sure that you guys have all heard about the J&J vaccine is currently being put on hold. They're just investigating a few of the other things. So we're kind of working on that, and will not be administering any more J&J until we find out more. This is our last week that we're going to be doing the mass vaccine clinics for first doses. A lot of our pharmacies have been getting vaccine through the federal partners, so it's pretty easy to get a dose now, and our clinics have just not been filling up as quickly. So we feel pretty confident that we've gotten a large number of those that were wanting their vaccine were able to get it. So that's about it.
Thank you, Rocky.
Thank you.
Rocky, are they still able to go to you to get the vaccine?
Sorry, I muted myself. So public health will not have any doses on hand. Like Medicap Pharmacy will have doses on hand. Hy-Vee Pharmacy, New Cara Pharmacy, Clinic Pharmacy, basically all of the pharmacies around Hardin County will have doses on hand. So just give them a call and see where you can get in at.
Thank you.
All right. Next thing I have, Engineer Rawl submitted a couple of utility permits for consideration.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve utility permit UT-005. It's underground installation for Heart of Iowa Communications Cooperative.
Okay.
I will second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
And I'll make a motion to accept or approve utility permit UT-21-006, also underground construction for Heart of Iowa Communications.
I will second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Michael, I can ask you to open the microphones for public comment this morning.
They can unmute themselves.
Okay.
Yes, this is Pauline.
Yes, Pauline.
I have a comment about the tax assessments that were sent out. Some of the stuff just went up outrageously. I mean, like land was like our land, it more than doubled. And all we have is just, we have just a little over an acre out here. And most of it basically is house yard, a little bit of its, I don't know, I guess you'd say maybe pasture, or timber trees, a thicket or whatever. And that went up, it more than doubled. I mean, I don't see, I guess, why those types of things went up like that when it's useless land to do anything with. I mean, you can't do anything with it. So I guess I'd like an explanation from the board what made that value go up that much. It's useless ground.
Renee, Lance?
On that sheet that was mailed out along with that, there was a cover sheet. And
yep, I read the cover sheet.
So it tells you a process you need to go through then, correct?
Right, and I did all of that.
Okay.
We actually don't get involved with that. That's the assessor's office. So that's who you would need to talk to regarding that. And then like Lance said, go through the process as far as if you want to appeal it.
Sure. And I'll add one thing, Pauline. So I had a similar situation and I followed the appeals process and I did my research and I found that you and I have a very similar situation, and my parcel around my house that I would consider kind of useless land. There are people looking to exit communities and build on acreages. And so those acreage sites where it's 1.5, 2 acres are becoming very valuable in development of single family homes in rural Hardin County. So those rural 1 and 2 acre parcels are very valuable. And so they use comparables, they use recent sales transactions to determine the valuation of those. So what's not very valuable today, if you were to want to move and sell that, your valuation would be considerably higher. So when you went to sell it, that fair market value or assessed value would be there as part of the determining factor that would likely benefit you later in a property transaction. So that's how I was explained. And I also went through the appeals process and will await the outcome as it explained in the cover sheet. But like Lance said, and Renee also echoed, that the assessor's office is in charge of that. We don't have any delegated authority in Iowa code to set property valuations.
Okay, so how much then is what's going to be the price of what this is going to go up then? What's that price going to be?
You mean in property taxes?
Yes, and isn't that set by you guys because you do the?
No, how that is determined is by like the school budgets, the county budget, the city budgets, all the budgets. Once those are all in, they all have a levy rate, and those all get compiled, and then that joint levy rate then is assessed against your value. So there's no way to determine that at this time, unless you just use the levy, as an estimate. You could use the levy rate that's used on your current taxes against that taxable value, but otherwise you won't know for sure until all of those budgets are in and levy rates are compiled.
And that's one of the important things when the conference board convenes, that members from the school boards, we hope to have them engaged, as well as the mayors from each community and the supervisors. But as of recently, we have very, very low participation when it comes to the county conference board in determining those levies and things. So I would strongly encourage, like Renee said, there's county tax levy, there's city if you live in the city, there's school, and depending on your school district, that levy varies from district to district. And then the townships have theirs. So that's why I encourage people to engage their township trustees, their school board members, and their mayors if they live in incorporated Hardin County to be a part of the process. Because at the last meeting, I think we had 5 people. We had the mayor of Radcliffe, the mayor of Eldora, the mayor of Owasso, and 1 school board member.
No,
So,
Yeah.
So it was very low showing, and that's your taxation representation at that point. So when we don't get involvement from the entire conference board, it's pretty hard to say that your tax dollars are being represented the best.
Well, explain to me, because I did some research, in our area, and explain to me how somebody that owns 11 acres and somebody that owns 10 acres, the one that owns 10 acres pays less than what we do, and the one that has 11 acres has a beautiful landscape and everything, and there's plenty of room to build. Ours, there is not room to build because our a septic tank, our new septic tank that we had to put in goes out that direction. So there is no more place. There is not room to build on our land. And the one that owns 11 acres, he only pays just a little bit more than we do. So explain that to me, how they pay
I'm gonna just interrupt.
less than we do.
Right. And I think Lance and Renee and I have made it clear that the assessor's office is the one that has the authority to work with you on this. I don't think, I'm not going to speak for the interim assessor, Ms. Mesh, in this, but I would encourage you to continue the dialogue with the assessor's office.
Okay, but I'm not getting anywhere there either.
This is part of the appeals process, Pauline.
Additional public comment.
It's Julie Duhn. Yeah, I also have this assessed value where our property's gone up almost $25,000, and properties around us, some have gone up, some have gone down in this, in the same neighborhood. It doesn't make sense. So, I guess, yeah, it doesn't make sense. And there's no way that, I'm going to sell this property for the amount they have. So I don't know what's going on up there in the assessor's office, but to raise some, lower the others, 2 houses away is just, it's just weird. So yeah, I don't know what's going on up in the assessor's office. Of course, Don's gone now, so we can't ask him, but yeah, I encourage people to call him up, call the assessor's office, find out what's going on and appeal it. I don't mind paying taxes. I don't mind paying more taxes for things that matter for people to improve a community. But it needs to be done in the right way and realistically. And yeah, okay, thanks.
Thank you. Other public comment?
Yeah, this is Donna. I have 2 questions.
Okay.
When is that meeting from that budget meeting from Monday going to be on Zoom? I was unable to attend, and I would like to at least watch it.
Okay.
I mean, put on YouTube.
Sure. I'll try to get it on there today.
And the other question I have is, I've been calling the assessor's office since Monday morning, and all I get is the voicemail with Don's answer message. How are you supposed to contact them?
What's that, Michael?
There's 2 people
Yeah.
out there and 16,000 people in Hardin County.
Okay.
Then you need to leave a message.
I would encourage you to leave a message and an email Connie or Tiffany, and they will get back to you as soon as they can. I know there's, the bulk assessments went out, so there's numerous people, including myself, including Pauline, that have contacted them. And so I would just ask you to, continue to try to contact them, email them. If you plan on appealing, I would suggest, if you don't get a hold of them, put it in writing that you plan on appealing, and get that process started, at least having a paper trail in process.
Well, I would like to comment on basically our taxes since we bought this property. We have been overcharged. First, because they charged us on our pasture for highly valuable plowable land instead of just a pasture. That was a considerable difference. And then in 2015, when we built our pole building, they put the value of that on our house rather than on an ag building. Now, I know Connie can't do anything about that. That's past taxes. But my question is this: thanks to Duhn, if that's the way it worked, how many others in this county have had that happen to them? Strictly a rhetorical question, but something you may want to think about. Thank you.
Thank you, Donna. Other public comment this morning? Hearing none, I'll move on to the next item. It would be the proclamation for Child Abuse Prevention Month. So,
you guys want to read it, or?
Sure. Yeah. The Hardin County Child Abuse Prevention Month proclamation has been presented to us. Whereas in 2019, there were 56 abused children and 40 confirmed cases of child abuse in Hardin County. And whereas child abuse and neglect is a serious problem affecting every segment of our community, and finding solutions requires input and action from everyone. And whereas our children are the most valuable resources and will shape the future of Hardin County, and whereas child abuse can have long-term psychological, emotional, and physical effects that have lasting consequences for victims of abuse, and whereas protective factors are conditions that reduce or eliminate risk and promote the social, emotional, and developmental well-being of children, and whereas effective child abuse prevention activities succeed because of the partnerships created between child welfare professionals, education, health, community, and faith-based organizations, businesses, law enforcement agencies, and families, whereas communities must take and make every effort to promote programs and activities that create strong and thriving children and families, and whereas we acknowledge that we must work together as a community to increase awareness about child abuse and contribute to promote the social and emotional well-being of children and families in a safe, stable, and nurturing environment, and whereas prevention remains the best defense for our children and families. Now, therefore, we, the Hardin County Board of Supervisors, do proclaim April 2021 as Child Abuse Prevention Month in Hardin County, and urge the citizens to recognize this month by dedicating ourselves to the task of improving the quality of life for children and families.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the Hardin County Child Abuse Prevention Coalition 2021 Child Abuse Prevention Month proclamation.
I will second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Other business, Lance?
Yeah, I was reading the paper today, and let me get to my gallery here. It's also Parkinson's Awareness Month.
Okay.
Yeah, I just caught that in the paper. So if people want to attend some of these meetings, they are the second Wednesday of every month, April through October at 2 p.m. They meet at the Ackley Civic Center on 640 Main Street.
Okay.
It just caught my eye. I won't
Good
catch them all,
resource.
but this one caught me.
Okay. Renee, anything?
Nothing.
I just have one thing. Today's a really good day. Yesterday, I was able to be part of the welcome home ceremony for the 133rd Battalion, the Ironmen and women over in Waterloo. And I was just ecstatic to see a lot of local young men and women that I haven't seen for a year, and excited to have them back in our community. And it's just a reminder that they're going to have some acclimation back into regular society, and I encourage people to give them your support and a word of thanks and encouragement. So this is a big deal for our community. So that's all I had. Anything else? I can ask for adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, we are adjourned. Thank you.